We're heading out of summer and now autumn has arrived. The days are getting cooler and especially the mornings in the UK, it's definitely getting more chilly. Now, so we're transitioning our fragrances. The summer fragrances are taking a back seat and the cooler weather fragrances are making their way forward. But you can wear summer fragrances all year long, especially citrusy fragrances. They're good for gym, they're good for the office, fresh out the shower, running chores, chilling if you're lounging. But generally, the more thicker, heavier, denser, woodsier fragrances are making their way to the front of the stack. So today I have 4 fragrances that I'm going to be going through. One's inexpensive, one's a designer, and 2 are niche. Now the 2 niche fragrances that I'm going to be talking about, they're more on the reasonable price side of niche than the ridiculously expensive side, because I always try and think of budget when I'm putting these reviews together. I'm not going to stick a £400-500 fragrance really on a list because not everybody can afford that. I can't even afford that. So inexpensive, a designer, and a couple of well-priced niche fragrances that are both beautiful. Stay tuned. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne and thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is staying safe. I want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. If you've been here for a long time, if you're new here, and if you are new here and you're stopping by for the first time, hit that subscribe button and always press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review at a later date. That is right, I've got 4 fragrances to go through. And to me, a couple of these these fragrances definitely lean more on the masculine side, but a few of them a woman could pull off. And we'll get into it when I get into the fragrances. But if you've been collecting for a while, if you're new to collecting fragrances and you do not own none of these, I think they will do you justice. I really do. And I'm going to start off with an inexpensive fragrance. This is coming from the house of Zara. That's right, Zara. They make clothes, bags, shoes, jewellery, but they also do fragrances. And they do them at a reasonably good price. Some of their fragrances are very inexpensive. Like you can pick some of their fragrances up for £15-20. I think this fragrance I'm going to talk to you about now, I paid £29.99 for £30 in the UK. And this is Vibrant Leather and Sandalwood Elixir. Now, this is a 60ml bottle and it is parfum concentration. And I love this. I mean, I enjoy sandalwood fragrances. Oh, this is good. Right, you've got 3 notes listed. You've got cardamom, carrot seed, and sandalwood. But when this opens up, it opens up bright, and it does open up vibrant. It really does, because I get a citrusy, fresh blast from this. But at the same time, it's a little bit dusty, it's a little bit powdery, it's a little bit musky. And then within, I don't know, 15 to 20 seconds, boom, you will notice the sandalwood. You will notice the woodsy side of this fragrance. But then soon after, you will get the leather. Now, there's no leather listed in the note breakdown, but this has a leather backbone. I get a smoky quality from this fragrance, and this is a pretty linear fragrance. When that smoky, leathery quality comes through, that is when that citrusy opening is short-lived, like it dissipates quite quickly. Then the carrot seed is noticeable, and what the carrot seed does here, to me, it makes this fragrance, or it gives this fragrance a powdery side, but also a little bit of a vegetal quality. And as this starts to settle in, there is an earthy facet that comes through. And I think that is the carrot seed also. So the carrot seed is quite a big player in this fragrance. But all the way through, you get the sandalwood. Now, at first, this is powdery, a little bit dusty. It does turn slightly creamy on my skin in the late dry down. But that is when that vegetal quality is, I wouldn't say it's amped up, but it's dialed right up. So you have to appreciate woodsy fragrances, and you have to appreciate a little bit of a vegetal quality in the fragrances that you enjoy to appreciate this. Now, that smoky side that I get, that fizzles out as well, and the leather is present. But this is dominated by sandalwood. This is a woodsy or woods heavy fragrance. Like I say, it's quite linear, but man, I think it smells good. If you enjoy woodsy fragrances, if you enjoy sandalwood fragrances, this is going to be the one for you. And for £30 for a 60ml of this juice, I mean, there's no alcohol blast. It doesn't come across as smelling cheap. If anything, it comes across a little bit niche because of the way, because of the carrot seed, because of the sandalwood, because of that powdery, vegetal, earthy quality that you get in this fragrance. To me, it comes across a little bit daring, and it comes across a little bit niche. But anyway, this had to go on the list. I was looking at my inexpensive fragrances, and I thought to myself, there's quite a few that I could have put on this list. But I really enjoy sandalwood, hence why I put it on the list. But anyway, that is Vibrant Leather and Sandalwood Elixir from the house of Zara. I get 6 to 8 hours. Sometimes I've had 6.5 hours longevity with it. Sometimes I've had over the 7-hour mark when I was testing it out. So the longevity is there. This pushes well for the first hour. It really does give you a big scent bubble. Sometimes I go crazy with the trigger. Sometimes I do 8 to 10 sprays. And that ain't just me like trying to be Billy Big Bollocks, so to speak. That is, I normally do 1, 2, 3. Then I'll spray my shirt a couple of times, or my t-shirt. Then I'll spray my arm a couple of times. So I am quite a heavy sprayer. And the longevity, I think it's great. But anyway, solid pick from the house of Zara. Up next is a fantastic release from this house. This fragrance is a designer fragrance, and I had to choose from hundreds of fragrances to put this here, or to put this on the list. I might do a few of these lists, a few of these reviews, just shorter, but this is a superb release. This is for the fellas if you're going out clubbing, if you're going to parties, if you're going on the pool, if you're going to have fun. If you want a fragrance that lasts, I wouldn't say beast mode, but the longevity is there, the projection is massive, and the fragrance is sweet. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. What a stunning fragrance this is. As soon as I smelt this and done first impressions on this fragrance, it was a love for me. You get your ring pull. This is a 75ml bottle. This is going on skin. I love the way this smells, I really do. The atomizer, you know, the atomizer is what you get from Jean Paul Gaultier. Man, oh my God, this is really good. You got lavender, mint, vanilla, benzoin, honey, tonka bean, and tobacco. How does this open up? This opens up sweet, it opens up vanillic, it opens up aromatic. The mint and the lavender do put in a little bit of a fresh quality. Like this does open, it opens sweet, but there is a little bit of freshness to the opening as well. But it soon turns thick, dense, gooey, because the honey comes in. The way the honey comes in, and it kind of overshadows the aromatics, which is the mint and the lavender. But then once the honey comes in, the mint and the lavender take a little bit of a back seat, but they linger there for a little while. Like that aromatic quality that this fragrance has, it does linger in the fragrance. Then you've got the benzoin. So this is balsamic, this is rich, this is sweet, dense, thick, gooey, dries down a little bit more. Now, the tonka bean, to me, adds in a little bit of a nutty quality, but also keeps that vanilla alive all the way through the fragrance. Yes, you have the note of vanilla in this fragrance, which also adds a little bit of a powdery side to it. But the vanilla's there, and then you've got the tonka bean, and the tonka bean can give off vanillic qualities. So the tonka bean helps carry that vanilla all the way through the life of the fragrance, plus the tonka bean gives off a little bit of a nutty quality. Now, the tobacco, that is the only thing that I would say is wrong with this fragrance. There's not a lot of it in this fragrance. The tobacco is way in the back, and it comes across more like a cherry sweet piped tobacco really than anything else. It just adds a little bit of extra sweetness into the fragrance. And I just wish that the tobacco in this gave off a little bit of a smoky quality, plus it was more present, but you can't have it always. But apart from that, this fragrance is perfect. To me, it's for a younger crowd, but because it has that lavender and mint in it, it kind of grows this fragrance up a little bit to where a bloke in their 30s, 40s and even 50s can wear this fragrance. Do you know what? Age is just a number. If you're in your 60s or your 70s and you're watching this and you go and test this out and you enjoy it, wear it. It doesn't matter. If you're paying for it, if you like it, you rock that fragrance. But like I say, this is for fun. This is for clubbing. This is for partying. 5 to 6 sprays with this if you're going out, and it will last you the entire night, and you will give off a big scent trail. You really will. If you're walking through a crowd of gals and you're wearing this, they're going to think that you smell good. There is no doubt about it. If you're in a club and you're starting a conversation with a lady and you're wearing this and she gets a whiff of it, she's probably going to ask you, man, what are you wearing? Because you smell good. This will do it for you. But anyway, that is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. Sweet, vanillic, a little bit nutty, aromatic, fresh, but then warms up. You've got a little bit of a balsamic quality in there because you've got the benzo in. This is a stunning scent, it really is. And again, the longevity, the projection is spot on. You're going to get 8, 9, 10 hours out of this. On clothes, it lasts for days. I've worn this a few times now where I've been wearing one of my hoodies and I've just worn the hoodie for a couple of hours and I've hung it back up. And I've sprayed this on that hoodie. I've been wearing this while I've been wearing that hoodie, and I put the hoodie back in the wardrobe, and man, it just smells like that. It smells like this for days in that wardrobe, which I don't mind. But again, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. Now, this is the first niche fragrance I'm going to be talking about, and this particular brand, I own 4 from this brand, and all 4 of them, or every single fragrance I've tried from this brand so far, I love. This is from the house of Lorenzo Pezzali, and this is Sweet Explosion. Now, this to me is a unisex fragrance. It is. I love the look of the bottles. Simplistic with a nice graphic on the front. Weighty, heavy metal cap with an owl. Can you see that? And man, this thing, it is a sweet explosion. It really is. Not bad atomizer. Man, there's a lot of notes in this fragrance, but to me, it's not an overly complex fragrance, and sometimes that can be harder to pull off. Sometimes all these notes that are used in fragrances are gelled together to create a specific accord or note what the perfumer is looking for. You've got white honey, coconut milk, lime, grapefruit, davana, argan, ylang ylang, broom and malva. I think they're florals. Taif, rose, vanilla, coffee, tonka bean, benzoin, patchouli and musk. Now, you heard coffee. There is nothing really, or I do not get any coffee aroma from this fragrance. I think the coffee adds in spice, but we'll get to that. How does this open up? It opens up sweet. It opens up vanillic. It opens up slightly floral. To me, it opens up fruity. The way the grapefruit and the lime are used in this, they don't come across really citrusy. Because of how sweet this fragrance is, them 2 notes come across fruity, to my nose anyway. And I know that might sound weird because they're citruses, but they come across, this fragrance comes across fruity, vanillic, sweet, a touch floral in the opening. Now, the ylang ylang gives this fragrance a creamy quality along with that coconut milk. There's nothing lactonic here, but you do get the aroma, or you do get the smell of coconut. Once this dries down a little bit, that is when that coconut comes through, but it's always sitting in the back. Like, this is not a coconut dominant perfume. No, it's not. It's there, but it's in small portions. Now, as it starts to dry down, that fruity quality takes a back seat. Now the fragrance is warming up. A little bit floral, a touch powdery, and the powdery side is coming from that rose. I don't, so to say, pick up the aroma of rose. To me, it gives this a powdery side. Dries down a little bit more. Now, this is when I start getting a little bit of a spicy undertone. And to me, that is coming from the coffee. And that lime and that grapefruit, on my skin, they stay all the way through the life of the fragrance. I mean, all the way into the complete dry down until it fizzles out, which is 9 to 10 hours later. At first, they're there, they're up front, they're the opening notes. And all they do is, over time, they just slowly fade to the back, and they just keep slowly fading into the back. And like I say, I sprayed this on the other night, and it must have been about 8:45 in the evening. I went to bed, I woke up, and at 7 o'clock, I could still faintly smell this on my skin, and the lime and the grapefruit was still there. And as this gets into the complete dry down, the patchouli for me adds a slight woodsy touch. This does have musky edges as well. This is just a superb fragrance. It is well done. To me, it is smooth. Some sweet fragrances can come across as screechy. This doesn't. Like I say, the perfumer has done this to where all the notes do play a part, but nothing really overshadows. A note doesn't overshadow another note. It's just there. They're blending in with each other. And I love this fragrance. I really do. This is great. Like I say, this is unisex. To me, this is a cooler weather fragrance. Could you wear this in the summer? Yes, with one spray, and not on a high heat day. Because, man, I think if you, say we done 3 to 4 sprays with this on a hot day, I think it would choke you out a little bit, because it is that dense, it is that thick, it is that sweet. But this is a great fragrance. All the fragrances from this brand, Sugar Kisses, Vampire Rum, Sweet Explosion, and I've got one more, I can't think of it. But yeah, this is a great house. It really is. £130 for 50ml extrait to parfum, long lasting, but that is Sweet Explosion. Great fragrance. Now, some of you watching this might be thinking, if you know about this fragrance I'm going to talk to you about now, you might be thinking, man, this fragrance is only for the dead of winter. But as soon as the weather drops and it starts getting cooler, I don't care. I'm going to pull this fragrance out, and this will be in my rotation. There's no doubt about it. I love the way this smells, but you only need one spray would be enough. 2 sprays is more than enough. This is Coute from the House of Unique Luxury. I love this fragrance. Look, I've probably used about 5 or 6 mil out of this. You do not need a lot. I'm telling you, sometimes, even during the summer, I've put 1 spray on the back of my hand just to smell this fragrance. This was sent to me by the brand. Oh, and I do have a code. If you're interested in any of the fragrances from the House of Unique Luxury, go onto their website, put in Mikey-Coute23. That will give you, I think it was either 10 or 15% off of your order, and all lowercase, no capitals. Mikey-Coute23. That will give you, I think it was 15% off your order. Now, this smells, this is a whiskey, or this is a boozy fragrance. Oh man, I love this. And look at the cap, look. The detail of this house. The bottles are beautiful. Right, you got whiskey, Divana, bergamot, lemon, oud, caramel, cypriol oil, tobacco, amber, vanilla, amber again, and sandalwood. This opens up a little bit citrusy. But with this, it's overshadowed. To me, right, the citrus to me is there just to add a little bit of a fresh blast up top, because this is full on booze. This is straight up Jack Daniels with a splash of Coke. Like, it is that boozy. It's like basically you're smelling near on neat whiskey. But with this, it starts turning a little bit smoky. You get hints of the cypriol oil. You get a little bit of the tobacco. Then the amber. Now the caramel does come through. You do get the smell of caramel in this fragrance. The oud here gives this a very strong woodsy backbone as it starts to dry down. So the opening is full on boozy. And that whiskey, that stays through the whole life of the fragrance. Even in the late dry down, you will still be smelling booze. There is no doubt about it. So you have to appreciate boozy fragrances to like this. Otherwise, you're not going to like it. And that's being honest. If you've smelled a boozy fragrance before and you're like, I don't like that, stay away from this. If you enjoy boozy fragrances, you're going to love this. So as it starts to dry down, it warms up, it starts to sweeten up now, and that whiskey does calm down. The oud comes through along with the tobacco, and like I say, you get soft smoky touches from this. You get a real, I would say, mediocre resinous quality, but the caramel is thrown in the sweetness along with the amber. It's a fantastic scent. It is for cooler weather. But this deserves to be on the list. And man, I'll tell you what, I think even at full retail, I think it's £220 for a 100ml bottle. To prices these days, that is worth the money. If you look at a Tom Ford in his signature collection for 100ml, what are you looking at? 160, 170? Get this. Get this fragrance. But to me, this is more masculine, definitely. I can't really see a woman. There's obviously women that are going to be out there that do like or appreciate a boozy fragrance. But this is definitely, to me, more tailored towards the men. With the whiskey, with the oud, with the tobacco. Superb, beast mode, massive projection. Again, cooler weather. And that is Coutine from Unique Luxury. I love this stuff. I know this was sent to me and it is going to take me a long time to get through this, especially how much fragrances I do own. But there's no doubt about it, this is going to be one of them fragrances that will be forever in my collection. When this does run out eventually, I will order, when I get down to about 5 or 10ml, I will be ordering a bottle. There's no doubt about it. Because this and from the house of Aaron Terence Hughes, they're two of my fragrances. These two will be in my collection forever. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 4 fragrances. I'm probably going to do another review with another 4 fragrances. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit shorter for you lot, so you don't get antsy. But I appreciate your time. I've missed you lot. I hope everybody's doing well. Again, I hope you're all staying safe. Before you know it, it will be Christmas. And I hope when it is that time, Santa gets his fat ass down my chimney and he drops a couple of fragrances along the way. Ho, ho, ho. I'll see you lot on the next one. Cheers.